Hey friends, welcome back to Deeper Things, the YouTube channel dedicated to inspiring you to live a life of deeper faith. And today is actually that very mission that we're going to put under the microscope. What exactly is deeper faith? And is the implication then that other kinds of faith are shallow? Let's talk about it after the break. So if you want me to define deep faith, I'd have to say that we need to talk about the gospel. Not just because it's important, but because I believe it should be the standard of what Christians believe. And the word that Bible translators render in our English Bibles as gospel comes from the Greek word euangelion, which means the good news. And that phrase, the good news, is historical shorthand that has been passed down to us from the ancient church. When ancient Christians told one another the gospel, they knew what they were talking about. They were referencing the whole story of Jesus Christ and also all of its implications for those who believed it. While the ancient Christians talked about good news, they didn't put on rose-colored glasses every morning. They realized that life didn't always seem good. They knew the real struggles of life. In fact, we often forget thousands of years later that the earliest Christians knew that becoming Christian might mean you'd be barred from your local family church, kicked out of your family, that your faith would eventually become outlawed, and some were even hunted and killed because they believed in this good news. My point is that deep faith creates real challenges, and no one became Christian because it made them more popular or even because their parents were Christian. No, the only reason to become Christian was because you truly believed that good news. The good news that Jesus Christ called you out and challenged you to live in a countercultural way. And that leads me to the discussion for today, because I want to suggest that these two things, belief and challenge, they remain essential to building anything that we could call a deep faith. It's not just that we believe the gospel. There's lots of people that do that. It's not that we just give ourselves to bless others. That's essential, but the Christian gospel is unique because it unites belief and practice. It actually humanizes the spiritual. And so deep faith in the gospel creates a unique and actually delicate balance between believing and then being challenged. So take forgiveness as an example. We know and celebrate the good news that Jesus gave himself for the forgiveness of sins. Yet too many Christians trust in Jesus' forgiveness, but then fail to remember his command to forgive others in his name. So this is a marker of what we might call shallow faith, because it's something that we believe in with our minds that hasn't yet transformed our hearts. And I want to be clear, shallow faith isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes all that we can hold on to in life's most difficult moments is that simple gospel of grace, the good news for us. But no one can live there. Deeper faith calls us farther into the life-changing challenge of the gospel. I believe that deep faith is born when we recognize that Christianity is more than just what we believe, but the actual transformation of our hearts. And if we're going to be recreated in the image of God, then we'll have to do better than just believing that that good news is for us. So let me give you a quick rubric that you might use to measure your own faith. You can ask yourself, how has the good news of Jesus transformed you so that you give yourself for others? Have you been uncomfortable for the sake of someone else recently? Have you sacrificed something meaningful for your neighbor? Has your life been wrapped up in your own goals, plans, and enjoyment? Or have you taken up your cross and given like Jesus gave? Because friends, the deeper our faith, the more we'll look like Jesus. And it isn't easy. And though it is good news, it doesn't always seem good. And so I hope that you will be part of this community, committed to challenging and encouraging others to grow deeper in their faith, so that you yourself can go deeper in your own faith. Friends, I want to thank you for being with me today. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to be part of this community that will inspire you to grow deeper in your faith, hit that subscribe button. I can't wait to see you next time right here on Deeper Things, as we seek to not only have our minds transformed, but to have our very hearts transformed into the image of Christ.